Welcome to Mornings with Mel. So this segment is where we try to cross the bridge between agents and our community. We want you to see, perspective of some things that agents go through on the day to day. So we have two questions that we put out there. One is, what is the most awkward encounter you've had while showing properties? And the other one is anonymously ask a broker in charge, we call it a BIC. So we're going to dive into those things and see what people submitted.
We're going to see your honest reaction, Mel.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay, so these, like Mel said, what is the most awkward encounter you've had as an agent? So our first response that came in, somebody said that she had an approved showing, walked in, and the seller was taking a shower.
Did she make it all the way into the bathroom?
Oh, we didn't get that far.
See, I've had that happen before. What sucks is that when people are like showering and they're super into it, especially if they're like singing or something, and then no matter what you say, you're about to scare them. It's a dangerous situation.
It's literally so like, awkward. Do I just go in here and like kind of like sneak in hi, or do I just come out like full blast?
Or like bang on the door.
Yeah.
So like something I started doing so that didn't happen as much when I was more actively showing with buyers is when you unlock the door for your client and then you knock on it and you kind of peek in and you say, hello, realtor, to try. I mean, they probably won't hear you over the shower, especially, oh gosh, I can like feel the embarrassment
I know.
Of everybody in the situation. But doing that, it also helps like in case there's a squatter or something. They know you're not the police, so you're like, hey, I just want to show the house. So like you stay here, but like please don't kill me. I just want to show the house. Oh my gosh. Well, I need more details on what happened to that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, our next awkward encounter, somebody posted, someone asleep in the bonus room after knocking and announcing myself repeatedly.
Okay, so she did do exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then still, why are they in the bonus room?
But also, so I know for me, I feel like I'm not as light of a sleeper, but if I hear somebody maybe yelling or I don't know, somebody that's not like normal noises, I feel like I would wake up.
I'm so concerned for their safety. Like, you need to know when people, like someone's in your home. Oh wow. I need to know like what happened when they woke up. Did you leave?
That's such an awkward encounter, I feel like.
Yeah, the whole sleeping, showering.
I
can feel the cringe.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I hate this for all of you.
The next one that we got in is I toured a home and they forgot to tell their roommate and he was asleep in his room.
Oh, that sucks. I bet he was mad because he's probably mad that they're selling it to begin with. It is. Oh, people are always sleeping or showering in the middle of the day. What's going on?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Wake up, Jacksonville.
I know. Okay, so the awkward encounters that we got in were definitely just sleeping or in the shower.
Yes. Okay. Well, it could be worse. Let's just leave it at that. Is that it could be worse. These are not wild.
Yes. Okay, the last one that we got in is a little bit different. One time she sent a lengthy email to an associate venting about a difficult client and transaction, only to see that she accidentally sent it to that difficult client and not her associate.
This must have been before you could remove message in the...
Well, have you done that? I feel like maybe everybody's done that once in their life.
I have done that. I mean, I've done that a lot of times actually. But here's the thing is, no, there's no bright side to that. I mean, you could try to swing it, or you could just say, look, you're frustrating.
Yep.
God, that sucks.
Is what it is. I know. I can feel like the cringiness inside of me.
I bet she was working with that person for a long time too.
Man, tell me how you really feel.
Like, well, someone had to tell you.
Yeah, so I've been there. I can feel her emotion.
To hone in on that though, I think before you get to a part where you're so frustrated, which everyone does need to vent to their friends and stuff, but before you get so frustrated, I think there are ways to let your client know, like, hey, this is starting to become frustrating because I'm trying to explain X, Y, and Z. And maybe vent to your friends in person.
Yeah, for sure. No emails. No more emails. Maybe text might be safe, but maybe not emails. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next segment, that is all for the awkward encounters. Okay. I feel like that was fun. We'll have to do it again.
Okay, so my first year of real estate, actually I had a lot of encounters that were so awkward. But my first awkward situation was I was showing a house they were like, very, very young couple. The husband had just joined the Marine Corps. We were touring a house, and all of a sudden we heard something like moving around in the attic. So obviously I will never go in an attic.
Oh, no.
We'll get you a home inspector that day, but I will not go in the attic for you. But anyway, a person ended up jumping down out of the attic and just being like, "Oh, sorry," and then like running out the door. It was, I mean, terrifying, but also like I look back and I was like, I don't even know how I reacted. I just was like,
what? So stunned.
I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. This is my first day.
I really don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know why I took this job.
I could not imagine.
It ended up being.
Well, okay, so since that was your story, what happened afterwards? Like, what did your clients say?
Well, it was a foreclosure. It was when foreclosures were more. So it had been vacant for so long, so there were squatters in it, and I think that they did think that we were the police. I obviously look very intimidating, especially like at 19 walking up. They were probably frightened. So they like went up to hide, and I think then they probably heard us just talking about the house, so they realized like we weren't the police. So he's just like, oh, I'm done with this, whatever, and just like left. He also was probably not in his right mind because it was interesting. But
the stories
I do miss foreclosures.
Yeah, those are very interesting. The stories we could tell. Well, that is it for the awkward encounterment.
Good. Okay.
The next
this
one
is mid awkwardness, Jacksonville.
Yes.
I expected worse.
So let's dive a little bit deeper next time, guys. So look at all. We're going to be posting these on our Instagram and Facebook stories. That way you can put your awkwardness into our little question box.
I love awkwardness. Yeah. I love a good awkward situation.
And then we can read it and it'll be anonymous. It's just fun to like have a laugh and see what everybody else in our community of realtors deal with.
Your clients can see what you're going through. I mean, it's not just happy walks through every house. So
even though there are some like that, of course. Okay, now we're going to go into the section of Ask the Big. This is something that you as an agent might have been too nervous or didn't feel comfortable asking your broker in charge, and all of these are anonymous. So are you ready to dive in, Mel?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is the other agent in the deal I'm working with says that I'm going to have my client's ex-wife sign the documents. I think this is dumb, but I haven't heard back from my broker in charge yet.
Okay. So, first let me get it out of the way that I'm not an attorney since we're posting this up online. But there are marital laws in North Carolina that would, in multiple situations, require her to sign. So if she is on the actual deed still, even if they are divorced, if there was no quitclaim deed, if her rights to that house were never severed in a legal way, she will have to sign those documents. Plot twist is then if she's remarried, he has marital interest, so he will have to sign those, which has happened before. So it does depend. Now, hopefully your broker in charge does get back to you quickly, so they might have more details to give you. But if they are actually on the deed and there has been no quitclaim, they would have to sign those documents. Or if they aren't fully divorced yet, because North Carolina does have that 1 year of separation, maybe it's not like a full ex, and that's why someone has brought this up to you. You can also ask the whoever is preparing the seller documents. They would have probably the most insight if you're unable to get up with your broker in charge. But I will say marital laws in North Carolina are pretty stringent, so people do get frustrated with that a lot. And like I said earlier, it does allow for very awkward situations, but I love them.
I actually have an awkward situation about this. Very, very beginning part of my career, I learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
So I was listing a house, and then had the wife and the husband there, and the new husband to the wife came just as support. So as I'm like going through the documents with my broker in charge at the time, she's like, okay, well, the husband and wife are remarried, so they have to sign as well. So on that, I had to have a listing presentation with 4 people, not just 2 people, and I had to have all of them sign. So it was very eye-opening and a learning experience for sure.
Well, yeah, and to kind of add on to what you said, if this comes up while you're in the deal and you weren't aware of it, they may not want to sever their rights if they are entitled part of proceeds that may come from the house. So, spread the word that if your friend isn't like divorcing in North Carolina, to settle their real property, but like in their divorce, have the quitclaim deeds settled, whether they are going to keep the property together, how the proceeds would be split when it does sell. Because like Natasha said, we have seen it too at this firm where I've had to help work it through with people, but where an ex-wife could come in and say, "Oh wait, you're making $100,000. I would like my 50,000, please." Yes. And we're not closing unless she signs. So,
well, especially if you have those conversations up front. I know everything, you kind of you find things out through the deal, but I feel like if you have those awkward conversations up front, it saves you for a lot more awkwardness down the road.
Yeah. Well, and if you just bring it up at the listing agreement, like, is there any way, were you married when you purchased this property? I noticed this person's on the deed. What's that situation? You can also find, when you're doing your research before your listing appointment, you should be able to find the quitclaim deed on file. And if it's not, you should be asking questions up front, hands down. But if you're new, I understand, like, you may not know to go looking for a quitclaim deed. But your attorney should help if you're not able to talk to your broker in charge.
Okay. Next question. Okay, next question for Ask the BIC. I'm doing everything that my broker in charge told me to do to get business, but I don't have any business. So was my BIC lying to me? Were they just giving me busy work? What are your thoughts on this, Mel?
I have a lot of thoughts. Okay, so yes, I guess there could be a scenario where there are things that feel like busy work. Now, these are anonymous. I don't know if you're new and maybe there are some setting up of your profiles that you might have to do that does feel like busy work, but people need to be able to find you online for you to have any type of credentials. So that might feel like busy work if you're new and that's the case. But in reality, there is working in your business and on your business. And what we call them here at the office is green tasks. So there are like literal actions that you can take that will result in, maybe not the next day, but I think everyone's kind of tied to this instant gratification, and that's just not how it works. The work that you do today, you're going to, that fruit's going to bear 3 months from now. So you've got to look at it that way. So it will feel like you're doing busy work until it starts to, come through. However, you should look into, and you can even look it up. There are a few online trainers too, just in case, you aren't able to dive into that with your broker in charge, but a few different online coaches call them green tasks or, profitable actions for real estate agents. But there are certain things that are essentially, if you just get down to the core of it, if you're connecting with people, that should be the goal of everything that you're doing. So if you're just making a Facebook post and you're not following through and you're not actually reaching out to people, that's just busy work. If you are just sending out postcards, it's great that you're doing some marketing, but are you following up with those people? Are you door knocking? Are you trying to see if you can call them if they're not on the do not call list?
Very true.
You can be there's a plethora of things you could be doing. You can be holding open houses. Now, obviously getting ready for an open house feels like busy work, but at the end of the day, it's a building blocks. So this business is a whole lot of back work. And then 3 months later, you start to see everything come to fruition.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. Okay, well, that is all that we have for Ask the BIC. So we hope next time we'll have more anonymous questions, because I felt like this was fun.
Yeah, I do like that. And we love helping people. So whether you're here, at our firm or not, we're myself, Natasha, all of the agents, we're very big on collaboration. If you have a question about anything, there's no gatekeeping here.
100%. That's what MRG is all about. I love it. Yeah. So, okay, guys, like I said, make sure that you are looking on our Instagram on stories or our Facebook on stories. I feel like we should open this up to YouTube to put comments in our videos on YouTube. What do you think?
Oh, I love that.
Okay, perfect. So look for us on YouTube as well. You can put in your questions. We can get them from there, and we will come on here as anonymous.
I love that. Okay, cool.
Yay. Well, thanks, guys.